Want to see Nic Cage's pyramid? Here's me, standing in front of the future tomb of my favorite actor, where one day his ashes will rest. Now, whatever year he passes will be a very sad year for Nicolas Cage, but you know what was one of his best years? 2009. Now, in 2009, Cage showed up in 4 films. 3 of those films were G-Force, didn't see it, Astro Boy, didn't see it, Knowing, not good. But that's okay, because the 4th film was Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, starring Nicolas Cage and directed by the man giving new meaning to the term jungle fever, Werner Herzog.
Full of admiration for the jungle. It is not that I hate it, I love it.
Now, when you combine this actor with this director,
try to look a chicken in the eye with great intensity,
you know you're in for a good time. This movie's very good. So let's get to the story. Nicolas Cage plays Terrence McDonough, a police sergeant living in New Orleans. During Hurricane Katrina, he rescues a prisoner, but in the process injures his back.
You are crazy. You okay, man?
That was like a 4-foot jump into water. Like, I guess it could happen, but it's not exactly Mankind versus The Undertaker, you know? But this heroic act earns him a medal, a promotion to lieutenant, and a whole lot of Vicodin. Some time passes, and we see Lieutenant McDonough is now just saying yes to every drug he can find. One of the first cases he's assigned to is the brutal execution of a family. This is when I realized that I'm a little too desensitized by TV shows like Oz or SVU. Oh, the family got shot. That they weren't, tortured? No, just killed? Yeah, I guess that's bad. Though I am still somewhat human, because when Terrence finds a poem written by the little boy who was murdered, that got me. Based on its living conditions, maybe they ought to question the fish. I'm glad he's dead. So that's our setup. A cop in pain, addicted to the job, amongst other things, threatening fools and breaking rules in order to solve a murder. But this is not a plot movie. Similar to what I said in my Vice Squad review, the beauty of films like these is that you just feel like you're being a witness to an environment or a person or an addiction. We're not so much being told a story as we are hanging out with a character. So what kind of things does this character get up to? Visiting Frankie, his prostitute girlfriend, freaking out at pharmacy workers.
Try to get my prescription, please!
An odd trend in 2000s Nicolas Cage movies.
Hey buddy, ever heard of a line?
Hey, have you ever been dragged to the sidewalk and beat until you pissed blood?
Corrupting Michael Shannon, harassing a young couple and stealing their drugs, and accepting other forms of bribery, while making sure that her boyfriend keeps watching. I don't think I can show you this scene. Well, maybe I could get away with playing the audio for you if I just put it over something wholesome.
They beat you?
No.
Molest you?
No.
Didn't buy you new clothes up back to school, huh? Huh? Didn't see you in the high school play, huh?
By the way, we're not even a quarter of the way into the film at this point. And after all this character development, Herzog brings us back to the plot with a wondrous cliche.
You find the man who did this.
Ma'am,
You
what's
bring
your
him
relationship
to justice.
to Brian?
You make sure this
Are you sure
angel
you're at the
child
right
didn't die
funeral?
for nothing.
Ma'am,
You show the
Brian's a
world why
dog.
you became a cop.
This remotivates Clarence to track down a potential witness, the grandson of this character. Don't mind me, I'm just thinking about a scene later on. So it turns out the man responsible for the massacre is notorious drug dealer, gang boss, and former ride pimper Big Fate. Now that's a great lead, but Terrence needs to pester his bookie first to make some bets, which ends in a parking ticket favor, which leads to this weird alligator shot, which then bleeds into a late night rendezvous with Vicky Valancourt.
She's the devil!
And then ends with him hallucinating iguanas next to Val Kilmer.
What are these fucking iguanas doing on my coffee table?
They ain't no iguana.
Sure. This movie, man.
I love it. I just love it.
Terrence captures one of Big Fate's henchmen, and then he smokes some weed with him.
It's amazing how much you can get done when you've got a simple purpose guiding you through life.
Man, you know who should be arrested? This guy, for that beard line. Now, during all this, he visits his recovering alcoholic father, whose beer-guzzling girlfriend can't handle their dog. So now he's responsible for the dog and the child witness. But said witness gets spooked by Terrence's drug use and a run-in with one of Frankie's rough tricks. Stop, it's tangent time. I gotta talk about this guy, Justin. I need some caffeine if I'm gonna do this right. This damn performance. So later on in this review, I'm going to talk about Cage's acting, and spoiler alert, it's very strong. Not only is his acting very strong, but he is surrounded by a lot of other strong performances. But none of them are so over the top that they take away from Cage's fever dream. But then there's this guy.
I ever heard about you so much as looking at that girl? Uh-huh. You're gonna wish you were born without a dick. Whoa, 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 Terry.
Now this actor, Shea Wiggum, maybe I pronounced that right, he's done a lot of good work. He's one of those actors that people wouldn't necessarily recognize his name, but they would recognize him as that guy from that thing. For me, it'd be Boardwalk Empire. In acting, one of the hardest things you can do is make bold, creative choices for a small character. Most of the time, it's gonna come across as unrealistic.
Goodness, no. No, that wouldn't do at all.
Or too weird without context, and this is why we see so many bland but safe performances, often even from our protagonists. I suppose the logic is that it's better to be believable and forgotten than it is to be eccentric and run the risk of being remembered for the wrong reasons.
My mother told me what was necessary to rule in this universe.
Like killing people?
I create life!
This is why Nicolas Cage is my favorite actor, because he doesn't go with the easy route. He makes bold choices. Sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't.
Well, vive la fucking France, man!
But this character, Justin, this small part, rich guy who beats up Frankie,
It was erotic shit, man. Oh, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Big mistake.
do you have any idea how brave of an actor you have to be to out-eccentric Nicolas Cage? Let alone Nicolas Cage in this movie. I clap my hands to you, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the story. Somehow, our star witness has lost faith in Terrence's abilities as a detective, and so he runs away. Terrence frantically searches for the boy all night, which leads to...
Where is he? What are you doing?
Do I need to say more?
This old woman's gonna run out of air, and you're gonna have a tough time convincing people that it wasn't you who did it to her. You ever think about your kids or your grandkids, huh? Sucking up their inheritance through that fucked oxygen tube?
Do I need to say more?
You fucks, I hate you. I hate you both. I should fucking both.
Alright, if you can't tell, things aren't going too good for old Terrence McDonough. Star witness now hiding overseas, Michael Shannon no longer able to score him drugs from the storeroom, under investigation for threatening old women, owes $5,000 to his bookie, and now owes $50,000 to these dog-threatening mobsters who are friends with Justin. The same Justin whose father's connections end up taking away Terrence's gun and placing him on modified duty. What's an unstable, soon-to-be ex-cop to do? Team up with Exhibit, that's what.
What about them murders? You don't give a fuck about them no more?
Look at me. Now look at you. I never did.
Terrence offers to give Big Fate police intel in return for money, and of course, drugs, which he smokes using his lucky crack pipe.
You don't have a lucky crack pipe?
I might have had a hat with that quote on it at one time in my life. But oh no, the gangsters show up, leading to a shootout, which ends with a scene that I'm sure most of you have already seen at this point, but what the hell?
Shoot him again.
What for?
His soul's still dancing.
You just know Herzog had like a 5-page internal essay about the meaning of that sequence. I think even after death, we are just still forced to be dancing. Not dancing as we truly were, but how we saw ourselves. It's sort of a sick charade. The only thing that comes close to passing it is the sort of reptilian misery. It doesn't notice us, it doesn't care, and we are in awe for that. I think that's why McDonough sees them, the Agonas, that he has no dance to play. He is pure id. He has no ego. He is how you say, a dinosaur, but a dinosaur that smiles. Now, it turns out that that crack pipe might have actually been lucky, because in the span of 10 minutes, nearly all of Terrence's problems are solved. He wins a big bet, money trouble's over, back in the bookie's good graces. Then Justin shows up to chew some more scenery.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out after his father's friends were killed, he's ready to make amends.
That's the way out.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you know? A pipe with Big Fate's DNA was found at the family massacre crime scene. I really love how this scene is shot. It's so fast. It's like Deus Ex Machina on steroids. It takes maybe 3 minutes for 3 characters to show up one after the other and say, hey Terrence, everything's gonna be okay. Pregnant loving girlfriend, sober family, hell, he even gets promoted to captain. Oh, but don't worry. He's still blackmailing the affluent youth for handjobs and drugs. The movie ends with Terrence running into the man he rescued at the start of the film, the cause of his addiction, and the two of them go watch fish at the aquarium together. What a ride. I have a bit more to talk about, but if you've made it this far into the video, I just want to say thanks for watching, and if you liked it, maybe subscribe, maybe give it a like, maybe leave a comment. Really helps us small YouTube nerdy story guys out.
Ooh, he card reads good.
Shocker, I love this movie. Again, similar to what I talked about in my Vice Squad video, I really love when these less plot-orientated films are done right. I love how many characters are in them and the level of character that they're allowed to have. Another example of why I don't like that old writing advice of, well, does it move the plot forward? I don't know, does Stifler's beer-swilling mom move the plot forward? Not really. I know the hallucinatory iguanas sure as hell don't, but they add to the world. But the million-dollar question, how's Nicolas Cage? He's fucking great. Watching this movie again, Terrence McDonough is one of my favorite Nicolas Cage characters. The hairline, the eyes, the posture. Look at this posture. I have no idea what a guy in crippling back pain who's on a ton of drugs looks like in real life, but this sure as hell conveys it. His discomfort oozes out of the screen. Though maybe his posture's just off because of his giant gun, which is another part about the character I love. Even his voice. There's parts of the movie where he sounds like he's sick.
You'll know when a supplier's under surveillance. You'll know when it's safe to make a pickup.
Or even had a stroke.
I think she might be suffering. I'll get you your voucher, okay?
For no reason. It just changes. I tried looking it up online, and the most I could find was an unverified rumor that Cage cut himself with a rusty spoon and it gave him lockjaw. I don't know if that's true, but even if it is, the voice change works for me, because maybe McDonough is just like really high in those scenes, or maybe he's going through really bad withdrawal. A lot of Cage's later work seemed to try and capitalize on him becoming a meme. You know, the over-the-top screaming guy. And sometimes that doesn't work because it doesn't fit the character he's playing. This movie is not that. This movie is walking the tightrope of crazy. It is slipping off to the point where it could almost derail the story. It's teetering, but never falls off. If you're interested in seeing Cage go way too far and fall off the insanity tightrope completely, just go watch Deadfall.
Okay, baby girl, who sent ya?
Though in fairness, that movie's pretty dull, and his character's kind of the only reason to see it.
Who would try to kill you, Eddie?
The fucking hangers!
I don't know that I have anything bad to say about this movie. Maybe a little slow at parts. I don't know. I don't like the title. It has nothing to do with the original Bad Lieutenant. Herzog didn't want it to be the title. The studio just forced it on him. God, I never know how to end these things. Here's a clip of Herzog talking about Nicolas Cage.
He said to me, but one quick question. Maybe you have some sort of a quick answer. Why is the Bad Lieutenant so bad? Is it the drugs? Is it Hurricane Katrina? And I said to him, Nicholas, you know, there's such a thing like the bliss of evil. Go for it. And he really went for it.